Hey everybody, Preston Poulter here with Pocket Jacks Comics, and today we're talking about Conan the Barbarian. If you couldn't tell from my channel name, I was a poker player, professionally for about 3 years, and I would, you have to be aggressive in order to really be a decent winner at the game. And I had a playlist I would listen to when I was driving to the casino, and this theme was on it. Like, nothing got me quite in the mood like the Conan theme from the original movie. Which, by the way, just total trivia, they ripped off for the next Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, or at least a future Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Total Recall. If this is the Total Recall theme, it's very reminiscent of the Conan theme. But anyway, Savage Avengers #1. This is a cool variant cover from my local comic book store who went to the comic retailer and well, enough of that. Asks a very important question: who would win in a fight, Wolverine or Conan? I think, just stepping back and looking at it, we have to say, well, Wolverine, because Wolverine's a superhero. He has bones that can't be broken. He can't really die because he's got like 6 swords in his forearms. I mean, it's not really a fair fight. It's totally Wolverine. But the comic book says otherwise. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, again, just picked up Savage Avengers #1. What's going on here? But we find Wolverine, or as he calls himself, to... I thought this was pretty good. Logan of Paps in the Savage Lands, and he and Conan get in a tussle, and Conan actually ends up coming out pretty much for the better. Like, at one point, he just runs him through, and I was glad to see that. Again, I think we're downplaying. Conan should just be a really strong, but otherwise normal human. The idea that he's going to lose to, the superhero Wolverine, I think should be a given. But hey, the comics said Conan will win. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Down in the comments, say no. I think Conan definitely has the best of Wolverine, because I want to hear that argument. But that is what the comic shows. They get in this, and even Conan, Wolverine's using his claws and cutting down the sword, and I'm like, man, how does Conan even stand a chance in this thing? Like, Wolverine's claws are sharp, they're adamantine, they can't be cut, and he can just cleave through Conan's sword, and he can't die. I don't see how Conan has a chance, but Conan nevertheless ends up being semi-triumphant, in those classic comic book ways. When you have a duel between two heroes, they end up tumbling down a hill, and then at the bottom they're like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't be fighting. So they share some ale out of a keg and admire each other for their rugged masculinity, and then go on about their separate ways. Meanwhile, Conan is out to stop a magician who is attempting to summon, kind of Cthulhu-y, which goes back to the era in which Conan was written, back in the 20s by, I always get the first name wrong. I want to say Ron Howard because that's the director, but I think Ron or Robert Howard, but anyway, was a contemporary of H.P. Lovecraft, another Howard. A lot of Howards. And, their universes had some level of overlap, and that the gods, or I want to say at least that the Conan universe was kind of influenced by what Lovecraft was putting out, and that the gods of Conan's universe, there were some very dark deities, and wizards worshipping the dark deities would be some of Conan's opponents, similar to the way for H.P. Lovecraft, if you were in touch with these dark gods, you could do magic, but at the same time you were crazy. Again, that's another thing we find in Conan. Kind of being a magician, being in touch with these dark deities makes you pretty crazy. So, in Savage Avengers, there is a wizard who's in touch with yea, great God from beyond, and is trying to create a bridge, and is like sacrificing people and putting them into their blood in this huge, massive earthen bowl, and obviously that has to be stopped. So that is the from a writer plot device point of view, that is the event clock, which is forcing the action forward. I guess Conan and Wolverine may be teaming up at some point in the future, Meanwhile, we also see that the Punisher is going to be making an appearance, and I guess this is just sounding like a great team. You don't have any Captain America moral busybodies going, no, we can't kill anybody. Well, we got Conan and the Punisher as our first two. I'm like, I'm sold. I just want to say indiscriminate violence. I didn't know. I love this, but when I was reading through the Punisher War Machine series, and Punisher just gets the power armor and just starts wiping out massive, just like mass carnage, just wiping out entire troops of people, just indiscriminately, and just killing them in very new and interesting ways. I was like, I'm hooked. I was sad when Punisher lost the War Machine's armor. I wanted him to. I want that to be a regular series because I just like the carnage, but. This, I think, is definitely going to meet my fill of violence, as should any story that involves Conan, because that's what Conan is about. It's about being a man and doing violent stuff and attractive women with, kind of fur over the naughty bits for a bit. But this is a promising series. I'm hooked. I think, it's interesting as part of the greater commentary on Marvel's direction, because there are a lot of videos out there about Marvel kind of going in this left-leaning, kind of more feministy direction, but I'm not saying it in this title. I think this title is pretty social justice free. I highly recommend it to people who are just fans of action, fans of genre. I think the Lovecraft fans are going to enjoy it because, all right, we don't have the traditional Lovecraft brainiac trying to decipher, the journal of Oye from Beyond, but said we got a guy with a sword who's just like, oh, whatever, Beyond Wizard, smash. I recommend it. Meanwhile, my Kickstarter is up for White Lily issue 3. It has 1 week left. We're about $1,300 shy of our goal. I do believe we hit it, but we certainly could use your support. It is a story of the deadliest male fighter pilot in world history. She was a real woman. She flew for the Soviet Union under the aviator call sign White Lily, so I recommend you check that out as well. Thank you very much for your time. Take care.